Hello people, just want to talk about Sony's games and movies, how they are really doing a bad job on it, you know, especially what they've done with Uncharted and God of War and shit. Like, I'm starting to see a pattern even from Last of Us Part 2. Like, I'm starting to see like a really, a bad pattern of theirs. You know, how they're creating games, how they're creating games these days, like God of War, like how they're discriminating culture in that, and especially Greek culture, and not just that too, with the movie Uncharted coming out and supported by Naughty Dog and Sony, how they just practically trashed that whole fucking franchise to the fucking ground, and especially lying to the fans of Last of Us fans. You know, you get to play as Ellie and Joel in the fucking, in the second game, they released it. Like, I'm starting to really see a real fucked up pattern with Naughty Dog. Oh no, sorry, rephrase. PlayStation games, man, like a real bad pattern. Like how they're releasing games and how they're politically, putting political stuff in the game. Like, it's just like, I think Sony needs to go back to their roots, right? Need to go back to their roots and start making games, not like, stop making politics. Because is that why I'm there to play video games, to get away from the shit and not dwelling on fucking politics and how you are discriminating cultures and shit like that, and trashing on a game franchise and practically lying to people and shit like that? Because really, the way how I am seeing this, right, with PlayStation, right, the way how I'm seeing this, if they're going to keep taking this route, right, and keep walking this path, what they're walking into, right, and listening to politics, I can't really say on my YouTube channel, they're not going to have a good future in the gaming industry world, because you don't want politics in video games. You don't want political shit in video games. Like, I want to just play a video game, not have to worry about political agendas and shit. Like, I don't want to see any of that crap and that garbage in that game and all that stuff in that game. I just want to kick back and relax. What I used to do back in the old PS1, the PS2 and the PS3. And when it all started happening is when PS4 came out. Oh, they had good games here and there with PS4. They had really good games on the PS4. Yeah, they did. They had really good games on the PS4. But round about during the time when PlayStation 5 was around the corner and they haven't revealed it yet, that's when I started to notice the change in the atmosphere with how PlayStation make their video games these days. And it's not really good. It's not really good for PlayStation. It's not really good for PlayStation. I'm just saying it right now. Like, the only games I didn't have to feel dwelling on politics, was Days Gone. Days Gone was a game to kick back and relax. And not just that game too, Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. And yeah, I didn't have to feel, what's it called? Like, you know, yeah, you know what I mean. I didn't have to feel like, you know, the shit politics, yeah, you know what I mean. Like with them games, I didn't have to feel that. Like, they've removed politics out of the equation. It made a game feel fun to play, not, you know, with all the political stuff. You know what they're putting in games these days, you know, and not just that too. How they're just practically trashing on cultures, and you know, like how what God of War is doing now, like, you know, with practically discriminating Nordic culture, like Nordic Viking culture. That's my culture there. And you're basically discriminating that to the T. And not just that too, with Uncharted the movie with Tom Holland and fucking Mark, I don't even know his second name, Mark Wahlberg, what is that his name? Mark Wahlberg playing as Victor Sullivan, and like, they don't even look the part. They don't even look the part. Like, literally, they don't. I don't even know what Sony is doing. Like, and not even fly. Not even you know, punishing Neil Druckmann. Not even punishing him for lying to the fans and saying you're going to play as Ellie and Joel, and putting false advertisement in the trailers. Because, like, we all know that that game itself was a political statement, you know? It was all political in that game. It was all political. It was not like the first game. Like with the first game, you know, you don't really get to know what Ellie's backstory is that much when they released the DLC. Like, I don't really want to know basically her background and what she's about. And when I when I played the actual game itself, like, you know, the actual game with Ellie and like Joel and Ellie, right? I didn't feel politically, you know, what's that word? I didn't have the, I didn't felt the political side of it in that game. I didn't feel no political shit in that game. But when they released the DLC for Ellie, that's when and that too. Like, I don't understand why they have to keep on putting political stuff in these like big massive games, and I'm just waiting for the time when they release like Uncharted, right, and they start putting their political bullshit in that game too, and practically wreck the whole franchise once and for all for that game. And I think they kind of did with Infamous. Infamous was one of them games I sit back and relaxed on too. Like Infamous 1 and 2. Great franchise, and I don't understand why Sony can't release them on the PlayStation Store. And same with like Killzone and shit. And Resistance, like all the Resistance games. They're the games I actually they're the games I actually relaxed on. You know, like annoying the politics from reality, you know? Just playing a game. That's all I wanted to play. A fucking game. It doesn't have politics and political agendas behind it. People don't want to... Sony, I just want to say one thing. People had enough of this bullshit what you're putting in your games. We had enough. And if you've got to keep taking this same route and keep supporting these kinds of people, right? Well, put it this way, a lot of people are not going to play your games no more. And I'm going to be really straight and blunt with you, because really, if this is going to be the case, right? Like, no one's not going to play your games no more. Like, you're practically wrecking your brand in a way. You're practically wrecking your brand. And not just that too. You practically remodeled Aloyd's face. Like, why can't you, Gorilla, why can't you update her face from use the first model from that game and connect it to that model in this game and remodel it? I don't understand why you have to change things, especially with Spider-Man. That game, why you have to remodel Peter Parker's face to look like, a lot of people say it's meant to look like, you know, Tom Holland's and shit. But I actually see the looks of the actor and the actor who the voice actor who plays as Peter Parker. It does look like the actual voice actor, but I don't understand why they have to remodel Peter Parker's face. And I will make another video talking about this in the future, and I will talk to you guys later. See ya. Bye.